Over to the other big story we're tracking. The race for the next Congress president is heating up, with Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and Thiruvananthapuram MP Shashi Tharoor emerging as the two clear nominees. Now, Gehlot was in the capital today. He met the interim Congress President Sonia Gandhi. Ahead of his meeting, he made it clear that he will contest for the top post if the leadership asks him to do so. The Rajasthan Chief Minister was also very clear that he wants to continue as the CM in the state even if he becomes the next party chief. Meanwhile, Shashi Tharoor also visited the AICC office and checked the electoral rolls before the elections. So it looks like it's going to be Tharoor versus Gehlot for the final showdown. The question that is also emerging is, with Gehlot being tipped as the big candidate, could Congress end up rocking its own boat in Rajasthan, which is one of the only two states it is in power today?
Anybody who wants to fight elections can file nomination. That's what Mr. Mistry has said. That's what AICC has said. It's a very open, fair, transparent process. 9,000 elected officials will elect the Congress president.
मेरा बस चलन में एक पद भी नहीं संभालूं, मैं राहुल गांधी के साथ यात्रा करूं, मैंने बता दिया आपको. बाकी जो जिम्मेदारी है तो वो निभाएंगे, चाहे राजस्थान की हो चाहे यहाँ की हो.
Let me go across to Aprajita Sarangi, who's the BJP MP. Anika Malhotra of the Congress will be joining us in just a bit. And Sanjay Jha is political analyst who was formerly with the Congress party, is also with us. Sanjay Jha, one of the questions that is coming to mind is why complicate matters for Mr. Gehlot, who already is a sitting chief minister in one of the only two states that the Congress is in power with on its own. Is that a fair question to ask? Why not somebody else who doesn't have that big a responsibility on his hands already?
Well, Shivani, actually the Congress also needs to kind of resolve the gridlock in Rajasthan. You will know that Sachin Pilot did a wonderful job in actually getting the Congress back into government when he, did a outstanding hard work as an opposition guy and brought Congress back into the forefront at a time when the Modi wave was really at its peak. So, I do believe that Sachin Pilot does deserve his moment in the sun. And frankly, for the Congress, actually, the jigsaw puzzle seems to be falling in place because Mr. Gehlot, as a non-Gandhi Congress president, will also deflect a lot of this criticism that the BJP keeps, regularly piling on to them about being a dynastic party, etc. I mean, that will totally evaporate hereafter. In fact, I believe the Congress will have more reasons to actually then tell that the BJP has more dynasts if you look at the number of MPs and MLAs who belong to political families. So in a way, I think this kind of resolves, it kills two birds with one stone.
In one stone.
But
Mr. Gehlot is very categorical. He's not going anywhere as the chief minister. And I think that's fair from where he's coming from. Middle of the term, he's not going to give up his seat. Anika Malhotra is also joining us. But yes, Sanjay, you finish your point on that. I'll take the same question to her.
I do believe that the Congress needs a change of guard in Rajasthan. Mr. Gehlot has been a chief minister earlier on two occasions. This is his third tenure. And like it or not, I do believe that the Congress is facing a very tough opposition from the BJP. And therefore, you need a change of guard, someone who's hungry. And clearly, I can tell you, I know Sachin rather well personally. So I can tell you that he's somebody who's got the appetite for politics. At the ground level, organizational level, campaigner, and you need ambition, right? You need to have a hunger to win.
All that is fair, but do you think Mr. Gehlot will relent?
Well, I don't think, Mr. Gehlot, obviously, if he's given a choice, would love to have the cake and eat it too, which means become the Congress president and be the Rajasthan chief minister. But the truth is, I'm sorry, you can't do both the jobs, right? Because the running a political organization like the Congress is probably a more complex and difficult job than being the chief minister.
I don't think it should go to the same person. I'm sure Congress has more talent than this. Then a sitting chief minister has to be the next Congress chief, or the Congress chief also has to be a CM. Anika, does the Congress not have anybody else than Mr. Gehlot, who's one of your two sitting chief ministers, to be the next Congress chief?
Who is saying that? elections are open. Anybody who has a delegate, with him or her can always come forward and apply and contest election. For example, I was listening to Digvijay's Gehlot while a few days ago. He said even I can, for example. So it's not that, oh, it's only Ashok Gehlot or it's only Shashi Tharoor. Wait and watch. Let's see who else comes in.
But there's almost a sense, Anika, there is almost a sense that Mr. Gehlot has the hands of the Gandhis himself. So he's the chosen candidate. So nobody else would like to fight against him. I know Mr. Tharoor might, but not many else.
No, it isn't like that. Against Sonia ji, Jitin Prasad's father, Mr. Prasad, contested, didn't he? So we have a list of people who did contest against Gandhis also, for that matter. So it isn't like that oh no, everybody's scared and nobody wants to do it. And if you and if they feel Shashi Tharoor or Ashok Gehlot are the number, the ones who can actually handle this post, which actually needs lots of time and attention. So that's how it is. Though on the same hand, the PCCs have given a resolution that they still want Rahul Gandhi as a president.
Yes, I know. We debated that a few days ago.
Yeah.
But that's the irony of what is transpiring. Anika, let me ask you a straight question that I asked Sanjay Jha. Don't you have a problem on your hands? Mr. Gehlot is not going to give up his CM post, which I think is very fair on his part. Right? How are you going to ensure, if he's the next chief, that you are able to hand over the baton from Mr. Gehlot to Sachin Pilot in Rajasthan? You have got another battle on your hands.
Not really, as Sanjay ji said. I mean, why not? I mean, and that's again for the High Command to decide, and that is why so correctly that he has met Mrs. Gandhi, and categorically things must have been very clear or made to him. And you have seen Sachin Pilot also working with the Rahul ji at the moment. So there must be talks going on, and let's see. We just hope, and it's an opportunity for all of us to see the elections, as BJP keeps saying. Though they have a remote control at Nagpur, but they always have a habit of saying if Ashok Gehlot comes, he'll be a remote control. Or if
comes, I was going to take exactly that question to Aparajita Sarangi, because that's the charge that is coming in from the BJP already. Miss Sarangi, you are already calling Mr. Gehlot a remote control chief.
Absolutely. If Mr. Gehlot becomes the president of the Congress, he would be a remote control item. Please excuse me for using that word, but that it would be. In 1919, Motilal Nehru was the one who became the president of the Congress for the first time. And now it is 2022, 103 years. And let me tell you that in these 103 years, for 48 years, one person from the Nehru family has been the president of the Congress. Motilal Nehru ji, Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and Sonia Gandhi. And we have our own doubts. Rahul Gandhi seems to be the next president again. 2019, the Congress could not fare well. And thereafter, taking moral responsibility or whatever, Rahul Gandhi stepped down. But now the environment is getting built up. See, 7 states have already passed the resolution.
Yes.
The Congress bodies in 7 states have already passed the resolution. Do you think it is just like that? Do you think it is automatic? Do you think it is great love for Rahul Gandhi? It is all engineered. They just cannot.
Let Anika respond to that.
This
two distinct charges.
family.
One, that actually the party is unable to move beyond the Gandhis. There is still a clamour for Rahul Gandhi despite his non-performance. And secondly, the charge that Ashok Gehlot is just going to be a rubber stamp chief. Ultimately, it's the Gandhis who will continue to be in control of the party.
Actually, I'm aghast at the hypertension of the BJP. Unfortunately, they're so jittered with the Bharat Jodo Yatra that they coming up with anything and everything. See, ma'am, they started with Parivarvad. Now that the elections are going on, rubber stamp. May I ask what is happening in their party? Do they have elections? May I tell them that only Amit Shah is remote controlling Nadda ji? So it goes on and on. So let them first correct their house. As far as Congress is concerned, it's really democratic that elections are going on. Now, who is coming, who is not going, who will be rubber stamp? Leave it to the Congress to decide.
Yes.
And let's see how we carve our way forward towards the coming election. That's the focus at the moment. 2024 is going to be a battle, and we have to gear us ourselves for that.
Ms.
So
Sarangi,
we're ready for it. And
before I go to Sanjay Jha, please respond to that.
So BJP has no vision. BJP only has a vision of MLAs being poached from here to there. Oh, ma'am, at the moment, they're playing Chita Chita and Lion Lion.
Can I come in,
Beyond,
please?
there's nothing. So I'm unfortunate if BJP is talking about elections and stuff like that, because they actually want to evade the issues like unemployment to GST.
Okay, let her come in now.
You know, even
Let
the
Ms. Sarangi come in
rate.
now.
Have you
Yes,
seen
Ms. Sarangi.
how downfall we have gone?
Yes,
Below
this
Bangladesh and Pakistan.
party, Congress party is democracy mukt and parivar parichalit. Parivar yukta party. And I think everybody in the country knows this. And you know,
Ma'am, what
this is
happens
the
to Nagpur?
image of the Congress
What happens to
across the
Nagpur?
country. This is
Where
one
is the
thing.
remote control for
And
Nagpur?
number two, let me tell you, there is a situation where Ashok Gehlot ji has to seek the permission of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi ji to file his nomination. He has been all the while trying to seek permission from Rahul Gandhi ji to file his nomination, and Shashi Tharoor has gone a step ahead. He has already gone to Sonia Gandhi to seek permission to file nomination. How ridiculous this is! I mean, we talk of
But you
democracy
do,
within
no,
a
but
party,
you
and
do,
if somebody wants
you
to
do clamor
file a
for
nomination,
support
why do
before you
go
take a
to
step
seek
like that.
permission?
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair that he's went to Sonia Gandhi to take her blessings. That's okay. You canvas for votes
Not at all.
before an
She is
election
there
of this
and
kind.
be neutral. How
Ma'am,
does
in
it
the
mean? What does
BJP,
it
they're
mean?
all. Ma'am, in the BJP, they've
What
all
does
been
it
stitched
mean?
their lips actually. The two of them speak and they have to abide by those two orders. By the hum do hamare do. So I think they are talking about that themselves. What is
I
happening in the
belong to the
party. And
Bharatiya
I think
Janata
they're a
Party.
shadow,
I'm
kind of
also
a
the
shadow
sitting
team
member of
where they
parliament,
walk
and I
behind.
know
I think
how
ma'am
this
is walking
party
behind Ashok
functions.
Gehlot
You know,
and
we
Shashi
have
Tharoor, and she
tremendous
knows exactly
democracy,
what is
and there
happening.
is
Oh my God,
definitely
Sonia ji has said
respect
this.
for
Oh my God,
talent.
Rahul ji has said this.
There is
So I think
definitely
she is following
respect
them
for
like
good
a
work and
shadow and
performance
knows
in this
exactly
party.
what is happening
But
inside.
as far as you
Oh
are
ma'am, please
concerned,
look
it's
into your
only one
party
star.
first.
It's
Okay.
just Parivarvad.
Okay.
You cannot survive without Gandhi family. I can bet on this.
All right, let me bring
Today,
in Sanjay
Ashok
Jha on
Gehlot
that.
ji has come,
Let me
yesterday
bring in
Shashi
Sanjay
Tharoor
Jha
has come,
on
and
that.
absolutely
Sanjay
never
Jha,
enough
The party is
is there indeed a valid argument to be made here that ultimately Ashok Gehlot is going to be a remote-controlled Congress chief if he becomes one?
Shivani, I believe the cynicism being articulated by the BJP spokesperson against the Congress is totally unjustified and, in my opinion, highly irrational. Because it is firstly the Congress's internal matter. And I can tell you this, I have known most of the politicians in the Congress, and I'll make two points that I think we need to factor in. I know Shashi very well. Shashi did not meet Mrs. Gandhi to take her permission. Let me say this on record. He went to meet her because, you know, she was a little concerned because Shashi has been articulating the view that, you know, the transparency and the electoral college, etc., should be more out in the open. And there should be no opacity or some kind of an acquisition of the facts being concealed from the people who are going to fight in election. And I think she basically wanted to assuage him that everything is fine. The second point is very important. I do believe at this point the Congress is getting a tailwind. And the Bharat Jodo Yatra, I can tell you, is gathering a degree of traction. And, you know, all this Parivarvad, etc., that the BJP is doing, I want to ask this to Aparajita ji. You have actually imported two Gandhi family names in your party, Maneka and Varun. So you are the last persons in any political party to give a moral lecture.
But they're not the chiefs of the party for like decades and decades. No, that's not a very apples to apples comparison.
Well, I'll tell you, Shivani, why it becomes apple to apple. Because if you're going to have a non-Gandhi president, I believe Mr. Modi and the BJP have actually nothing to attack the Gandhi family on.
Then now, the Congress should have done it a long time ago.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you, Shivani, but let me give you another example. If supposing it wasn't Mr. Gehlot, it was Mukul Vasnik. Or let's assume it was Mr. Kharge. Or let's assume it was anybody else. BJP would still say, wo to remote control hai. So, you know, I think we need to get out of this hollow hyperbole and get down to the
pragmatic. But Sanjay, before I let you go, I love having you on these discussions. But I have 20 seconds left. Before I let you go, do you believe that it will indeed be Mr. Gehlot, or do you believe eventually it will turn out to be Rahul Gandhi? We will be back to square one.
To the best of my knowledge, again, I mean, Shashi has to officially confirm that he's going to be a candidate, but I think he will. And I think you'll have a contest between Mr. Gehlot and Dr. Tharoor. It will be a much closer contest than people anticipate. Please remember that Shashi is extremely popular across the cadres of the party, not just in the South or the English.
But Mr. Gehlot may have the hand of Sonia Gandhi behind him. You think that will not make him a front runner?
Yeah, I confess that,
Okay.
you know, if Mr. Gehlot is going to be backed by the High Command,
Yeah.
even if it's done in a very subtle or tacitly,
It
will
could
have
be
its
game over
repercussions
for
in his
Shashi
favor.
Tharoor. But we'll
Yeah,
wait and
yeah.
see. I've run out of time. I thank all of our guests for joining us. It's turning out to be a fascinating few weeks, the build-up to the Congress presidential elections finally. On that note, time for me to take a very short break. On the other side, we'll get you the day's biggest stories.